Hey, Rigsby here, and in today's episode, I want to talk with you about how to sell more. Let's get to it. Every couple of years, I review lessons that I've picked up over the entirety of my time in business, but then also what's changed, what has become more prominent, maybe what have I drifted away from and don't find to be as valuable, and I'm always kind of building this vault of lessons and knowledge and information. And, some of the things that I've come across, I want to share in individual podcast episodes. And one of the ones that really stuck out to me is the opportunity and importance of selling what people are already buying. Now, some of these things seem just drop dead simple, but I think this is one where there's kind of gold under the surface, because if you sell what people are already buying, there's evidence, right? Like you've let other people really prove the market for you, right? Like you've got marketplace evidence, you've got actual transactions happening, you have people making commitments, in some cases, not only investing money, but time, energy, effort, resources. And if you have that kind of evidence, that's so much better than a hypothesis, a theory that something's going to work. So I think the secret in selling what somebody's already buying is often saying, okay, well, what's already in the marketplace and how can I do something that adds value to this, right? How can I make it more convenient? How can I niche it down and make it serve maybe a more specific target market? How can I transplant it to a new marketplace? How can I, make it faster, better, more personal? There are all these opportunities to plus something and basically say, okay, this is here. How do I add to it? And if you think about most of the things that have taken off in in our offline business landscape, they weren't the first, right? I mean, the Model T wasn't the first car. Walmart wasn't the first department store. More recently, smaller scale stuff. Blaze Pizza was not the first kind of quick service pizza place, but they found ways to improve on a foundation, so they didn't have to just start from a blank page. It's part of why I love small group training so much, because obviously over the last 10 to 15 years, group training has really captured the attention of the marketplace. When I first got into business, opened my first business in 2004, one-on-one training, 1 hour sessions, pay for a package or pay per session. That was the model. That was everything, right? Everything was an hour long and you were buying somebody's time in an individual one-on-one setting. And, there were a few early adopters that figured out the group training marketplace. It was fitness boot camps, and basically they transplanted, what was going on inside group X rooms and health clubs, and slapped the boot camp name on it and try to make it feel maybe, a little more challenging, in many cases took it outdoors, and hence the name boot camp, right? Like, basic training type stuff. And it took off, and then group training evolved and has gone through many different iterations with different packages wrapped around it. Everything from, CrossFit to outdoor adventure boot camp to specialty type things like Pilates or Cycle Bar that use a different methodology but still use that large group format. Well, the reason I love small group training is it takes this group concept, right, where we're getting leveraged coaching, and all the things that it adds are premium, right? It typically attracts a better marketplace. Empty nesters, 40 plus, 50 plus, that have more longevity based goals, not necessarily just quick aesthetic wins. And it it requires a pretty nominal amount of space to execute. You can charge a premium price. You are kind of anchoring against one-on-one training or semi-private training. And basically, all your comparisons are upstream. They're more expensive. So it allows you to charge more and say, hey, you're getting a personalized training experience for a fraction of the price instead of kind of just diving into the deep end of the pool and competing downstream where it becomes a commodity and the prices are driven down. So that's a wonderful example of how to sell what people are already buying. They're buying group, but maybe there are things they don't like about it. Maybe they don't like the lack of personal attention, the volume of people, and the crowded environment. Maybe the methodology that they're exposed to isn't appealing to them. It could be any number of things, right? And this allows you to plus a proven concept and make it more attractive to a different target market. So if you're not thinking through this lens, I would encourage you to look at opportunities through this lens. What are people already buying? What is already in the marketplace and doing relatively well? And it could be, if you're in a small town, I've seen so many people make incredible amounts of wealth by just transplanting ideas that are prominent in other parts of the country or in more metropolitan markets, transplanting them to small towns and being the early adopter, or taking a concept like large group training and whittling it down to be small group training. There are so many opportunities like this. So don't feel like you have to reinvent the wheel. Just be observant. Look at what people are already doing. Look at what they're already investing their money, their time, their energy in, and figure out how you can plus it, how you can improve on it. That's how you're going to more easily grow your business than all these kind of, just slap on tactics or trying to invent something out of thin air. Just take what's working, make it better.